Hello, hello, hello. Good evening and welcome to a very, very special State of Play live reaction video. I think this is the first ever live reaction video that I've done. We are streaming on the YouTube. Eagerly awaiting Final Fantasy XVI to hit the latest State of Play. What's making me laugh is there's loads and loads of people in the comments asking for Spider-Man 2, GTA 6, Fortnite. They've missed this bit. I've gone in there a couple of times and been like, guys, it's a Final Fantasy specific State of Play. So if you're expecting anything other than Final Fantasy 16 content, you're in the wrong place, but they're just not listening. Anyway, welcome everybody. I hope you're doing well. We've only got 10 minutes left until the State of Play kicks off. As I said, we are watching this one live. When we do go live, I will pop this into full screen. But for now, enjoy the live chat comments that are coming through on the State of Play. They're quite funny. And let's talk Final Fantasy. JMC, hello. Indeed, anyone wants more content? Hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Absolutely. Feel free to go and check out JMC Book Co. 2000's channel as well. He's doing some amazing stuff on Wattpad at the minute. He's one of my friendly neighborhood moderators along with Pumpkinhead. Thank you guys. Love you both. Thank you for your support. Always appreciate it. So, I've seen very little of this game. I've only really sort of seen the prior trailers and the announcements that they put out on the previous State of Play, and also the sort of heads up trailers that we get, you know, the little teaser snippet trailers. That's all I've really seen. Haven't seen a hell of a lot else. I was going to do a reaction video on some of the sort of game world of Final Fantasy 16, which came out the other week, but I just didn't get around to doing it, so I thought I'm just going to save it for this video, and we're going to just do the reaction live. Now, for those of you that don't know, Final Fantasy is probably... it's definitely top 3. It's probably my all-time favourite franchise. If I was to sit there and think about how many games I've played in the Final Fantasy franchise, it's a lot. I've played the first one, the second one, the third one, not the fourth or fifth. I've played the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, all the way up to 15. There's only a couple that I haven't actually played, and I love every single one of them. I think my favourite still is Final Fantasy VIII. Controversial decision for Final Fantasy fans. A lot of people will say, what about 7? 7's the OG, and 9. A lot of people rate 10 as well, and I absolutely love all of the Final Fantasy games. 8, 9, and 10 in particular, I grew up on. I have very fond memories of playing those games with my dad and stuff at Christmas. When I first got my PS2, I remember Final Fantasy X when it came out. Blown away by the graphics, the blitzball, the sword mechanics, the combat. I loved everything about it. So this is a very, very exciting video / stream for me on a personal level. One, because it connects me to people that I've lost. I don't know if you guys know, but I lost my dad a couple of months ago, and I'm still struggling with it. I'm still sort of going through a personal time, as we all are in our family. But one thing that really gets me excited is news of another Final Fantasy game. It just sparks those memories. It sparks all the stuff that we sort of hold as younger people, as kids and things like that, when you're around Christmas playing the games that you love. Back in the time when games were like £45, and you sort of tended to have 1 game, 2, maybe 3 games a year, because, you know, games were expensive. They are now, but I didn't have my own money back then. I was a kid, so I only really got games at special occasions, when it was like birthday, Christmas, Easter maybe, when I did really well at school, which wasn't often. All that sort of times, you know, it was... So I ended up playing a lot of the old games over and over and over, and one of those sort of franchises that I absolutely rinsed to pieces was Final Fantasy. And I just fell in love with Final Fantasy VIII. I loved everything from it. The music, the set pieces. It was like a high school type of story. There was a love story in there. There was a big baddie. The sort of guardian forces that you could summon and use were amazing. I loved the magic, and at the time, that's when, you know, what are they called? Full motion video. When you get that on PlayStation 1, that was the first time I really saw like a full motion video game, and it was absolutely amazing. I was blown away. I can remember playing it in Christmas. It was like 96, 97, might have been 98 when Final Fantasy VIII came out. But I absolutely loved it. The opening cutscene where Squall's fighting Seifer, and he has that duel, and you got all the different cutscenes from the game blended into that intro. I was absolutely blown away and hooked from that moment on. I've completed that game so many times. 9 I've only completed a handful of times. 7, believe it or not, the original I never completed. I completed the remake. And Final Fantasy X I played a hell of a lot of as well. So I think those are going to be games on our classic list. As you guys know, I'm looking to put in some more classic content on the channel. I don't just want to keep doing modern games, modern reaction videos, podcasts, all that kind of stuff. I want to do retro stuff as well. I've managed to dig out my PS1 and PS2. We did a Return of the King, Lord of the Rings stream, Christmas just gone. I really enjoyed that, and we do need to go back and complete that. So maybe once I've done the next couple of games, because they're going to be short games, and I'm not going to spoil what they are, but they're sort of retro anime, sci-fi type games. One of them's very tongue-in-cheek, and I can't wait to share with you guys what it is. But they're not long games from what I've seen, so we're going to get those done fairly quickly. Final Fantasy 16 comes out in June. That's going to be my big game for this year. I'm really looking forward to it. So then maybe when we dive into some of the classics, we go back to some of the Final Fantasy games and play through those. For those of you that haven't ever seen a playthrough, you can obviously get them on YouTube now, but they're games that are very near and dear to me. You can just get lost in the story and get absolutely lost in the characters, the relationships. It's one of those games that you play and you can feel resemblance with some part of it, at least, whether it's the character, the story, the dialogue, the cutscenes, whatever it is. Something will resemble with you in a Final Fantasy game, and I think that's what everyone is so hyped about. But very, very excited for this one. I've heard there is no party mechanics. I think this is the very first time that this has been done in a Final Fantasy game. We are not getting a full party of people. So normally in a Final Fantasy game, you get control of what's called a party, which is basically a set amount of characters. You can alternate between the characters in some of the games, but ultimately in each fight or battle that you have in each Final Fantasy game, you get to control each character, and you pick what that character does in sort of like an active battle system type of system. But with this one, apparently you just control one character. It's focused around one character. I know his name's called Clive, and it's very random that he's called Clive, but I love it at the same time. It's kind of like medieval, Old English type vibe mixed in with, obviously, summons, Aeons, Eidolons, Guardian Forces. You know what I mean. For those of you that play Final Fantasy, summon forces, big demon beasts you can summon, basically, are still there. It's kind of a blend of, from what I've seen, Final Fantasy X-ish and the mechanics of Final Fantasy 15, so with Noctis and crew. But I loved how 15 did that. I love how it weaved in modern stuff like a car, although it flew, all that kind of stuff, modern mechanics and modern day mechanics into an old school medieval type game where there was monsters, swords, shields, magic. It was just a beautiful sort of flux of the two. But that's all I really know. I know the Guardian Forces are here in this one. Hopefully we'll see some of that. Hopefully we'll see some of the story. I'll get a bit more of a sniff of that. I want to see some combat. I want to see some in-game gameplay, which is, I'm being told, what we're going to get. So we're going to get at least 20 minutes of it. It's still cracking me up that there's people in the comments smashing that they want to see Spider-Man 2, Silk Song, South Park. You're not going to get any of it. This is a Final Fantasy 16 specific state of play. And I'll tell you for why, because it's a huge, huge franchise. And it's Sony. Sony owns Square Enix. Square Enix is part of Sony. This is all about Final Fantasy. This is going to be one of the biggest games of the year when it drops in June. Yes, I will be playing it. Yes, I will be live streaming it. I will do a full game playthrough on the channel, so stay tuned. It's going to be good. But enough of me rambling. I managed to cover 10 minutes just talking about my life and talking about Final Fantasy, why I'm here, why I'm doing a live stream instead of just a reaction video. It's very near and dear to me is the answer. But I'm glad you're all here. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll try and keep my talking to a minimum as it plays, but I can't guarantee that I'll keep stum because I'm very, very excited. And, yeah, I'll try and contain my excitement. No worries, JMC. It's all good. I appreciate it. I'm doing okay, my friend. I'm doing alright. Pumpkin, hello, hello. Hello to you, Pumpkin. JMC is here. We had a few people lurking. They're coming and going. First ever live reaction video on the channel. Here we go. Final Fantasy 16 State of Play. I'm going full screen because it deserves it. I'm so pumped for this. I'm unbelievably pumped for this. Let me know, guys, if there's any issues with the audio or video.
Hello, everyone. This is Naoki Yoshida, producer of Final Fantasy 16, and welcome to the State of Play. Today, I'm here to talk a little bit about the story, world, and combat system of Final Fantasy 16, as well as reveal all new information regarding the game's wide variety of RPG elements and support systems.
Come on!
We'll be talking you through everything while using never-before-seen gameplay footage running on the PlayStation 5.
Oh, damn!
I hope you'll stay with us until the end of the show and enjoy everything we have in store for you. With that, let's get started.
I should have cracked out a beer. Mix of gameplay and in-game cinematics.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
Look at that.
Focus, Wyvern. You are key to this mission's success. Yes, Sergeant. I said focus, Wyvern.
Wow. The gang's here, yes. How'd your notification pop up? Yep.
Welcome you to the world of Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16 is the latest installment in the Final Fantasy series, a storied franchise with 35 years of history.
35.
Yet while this is the 16th mainline title in the series, there's absolutely no need to have played any of the previous games before jumping in.
Same as the others.
Fusion of real-time action and RPG features, Final Fantasy 16 has been developed as the first true action RPG in the series.
First true action, okay.
Using the power of the PlayStation 5 to its fullest, the game delivers an expansive, thrilling gameplay experience which we liken to a high-speed roller coaster ride.
Is it for it? Ooh. There's Ramu. Shiva. Ifrit. Look at that. Holy crap. Very pretty. I've already got a bit of movement in my pants over that.
The
Jesus.
protagonist of our story is Clive Rosfield.
Clive.
And his
What a
journey
name.
takes place in the realm of Valisthea.
Why is he called Clive?
We follow the epic tale of Clive, Shield of the Grand
We got
Duchy of
Zidane
Rosaria, as it
in 9,
unfolds
Squall in
across
8,
distinct
Cloud in
periods of the
7,
hero's life.
Tidus in 10,
20s and
Noctis in
30s.
15, and Clive in 16. Whatever. Clive.
While the story begins with Clive in his 20s, A fully playable flashback will allow you to experience the pivotal events that shaped his past and present.
Okay.
And thus does the curtain open on this newest Final Fantasy adventure.
Look at that. Wow. Clive. You like the name. You would, Pumpkin. You would. Clive. I call him Dave or Steve. That's what I'm looking forward to. The Guardian Forces. Seeing all of them. And apparently you can fight with them now as well. Big badass fights.
Navigation in Final Fantasy XVI is driven via a world map, with locations being added and updated as players progress through the main narrative.
Nice. Yeah, that's going to be a pinch in the sand.
The map can be opened at any time, allowing players access to all manner of locations across Valisthea.
That ain't going to be the whole map. But look at it.
Here, players will meet new friends, encounter formidable foes, and uncover great and wondrous mysteries.
Wow. Music is always excellent as well. Look at the lighting effects. It's like watching a movie. Here's our little chocobo. Is anyone watching ever played a Final Fantasy game? If so, which one? What was your favourite? Let me know in the comments.
Next, I'd like to talk about the combat of Final Fantasy XVI.
Yes, please.
All the battles in the game take place in real time and are not turn-based.
That's new.
As Clive progresses through the story, he will learn a wide array of exciting abilities from the Eikons that he encounters.
Eikons.
Now, let's take a moment to admire Clive in action.
It used to be that Final Fantasy was turn-based, so you actually stopped in the battle to pick what you wanted to do, and then it moved forward. 15 and the 7 remake was a blend of the two. So it was active like this, but there were sections where you were picking what you were doing. So it kind of slowed down a little bit, so it gave you time to pick. This is the first game in the series, apart from Final Fantasy Online, where it's just full-blown, full active battles. No time pausing. And it looks pretty mental. It looks crazy, doesn't it? But I'm sure it's one of those things, once you play it, you'll get used to the mechanics of it and how quick it moves. A lot of it is very visual as well. It looks like lots is going on the screen, but actually you're probably just pressing a couple of buttons, maybe some of the shoulder buttons, and the game's doing all the flashy stuff for you. Based on what I'm seeing on the screen anyway. Zantetsuken. Very, very flashy.
The abilities that Clive wields have unique characteristics depending on the icon they are derived from. Players can use ability points, collected by defeating enemies, to unlock more abilities or upgrade existing ones.
Yeah, makes sense.
Can't decide which iconic ability to unlock? Or
No, I
upgrade?
can't.
No problem. You can let the game choose for
I'm
you.
spoiled for choice.
Final Fantasy XVI includes a range of timely accessories to provide support to those players who may not be so skilled at action games, bringing them a truly enjoyable experience.
That's pretty good.
Players are encouraged to equip Clive with different combinations of these accessories.
Ah, so although it's
Find the one
active
that
battle,
perfectly matches their own
the
playstyle.
accessories can slow down time and things like that, so it can make it like it's
A combination I can particularly recommend
semi sort of
for those
time
who
battles
struggle
like the old
with action
games.
gameplay is the Ring of Timely Focus and the Ring of Timely Strikes.
Yeah.
This combination allows players to unleash a wide array of different techniques just by pressing a single attack button, as well as shifting into a window of slow motion whenever Clive is about to be hit by an attack, giving them a little extra time to hit R1 and evade.
Just like the others. Makes sense now.
Alternatively, players could equip an accessory that fully automates evasion. As I said before, I really encourage everyone to discover the combination that works best for them.
The evasion one's pretty cool. I don't mind going full battle mode.
And for those who want to concentrate on the story, don't forget to choose Story Focus Mode before starting a new game. In this mode,
Easy
timely
mode, basically.
accessories are automatically equipped from the start, allowing players to immerse themselves in the narrative experience without having to worry too much with the action.
Still good though. Opens up options for people that haven't played these games before. This is why you didn't take any of my suggestions. 100%. Played 8
Clive
and
will
10.
meet many characters along his journey.
They're my
who will
favourites
join
as
him
well, funny
as
enough.
friends and allies.
I think mine are 8, 10, and it's a tie between 9 and 15.
These are fallen ruins. Well, you didn't think they'd lie.
It's probably 15 for me and then 9.
But how do you survive without
This is my top 4.
Adolphus, who becomes a mentor to Clive. Jill, a friend from Clive's youth.
It really is.
Such encounters and reunions
From Clive
set
Zoo.
Clive on a path of
Have
great
you seen
personal
the
growth.
Have you seen the captions at the bottom? YouTube think he said Zoo, Clive Zoo.
Some of these companions will even accompany Clive on his adventures, fighting alongside him and finding lots to talk about along the way.
All AI controlled though, apparently.
That said, players will only need to focus on controlling Clive.
There you go.
Party members are fully AI driven, providing support for the hero and constantly adapting and responding to his actions.
That's good. As long as the AI is on point, I ain't got a problem with that. It looks like it can take care of itself, to be fair. Here she is. Shiva. Clive Sue sounds like a good time.
And we cannot forget Torgal.
There you go, Pumpkin.
A smart,
There's a little
strong,
doggo in there.
fiercely loyal hound. Torgal is always by Clive's side and willing to stand by him in the face
If the
of
dog
whatever
dies
evil
in this
fate may
game,
befall them.
It's going down 2
Torgal
points
will act
in
of
rating.
his own accord.
We're not having it.
Players can also give him direct commands.
Cool that you got a little woofy companion there.
Just
Really want to
don't
play
forget
9
to
sometime.
give
9
this
is really
little
good.
boy some treats every now and then.
9 is a fan favourite.
Goots, get her upstairs.
Welcome to Clive Sue.
Mummy, don't fret about Karen.
That's going to be the name of the
Taking care
first
of her.
video we play
All of it.
when this comes out. Welcome to Clive Zoo. That's brilliant. I love it.
To worry about.
I could do a little thumbnail of like a zoo in the background and just put Clive in the middle. People would be like, what? What the
After
hell's this
progressing
about?
Somewhat through the game, Clive will gain access to Sid's hideaway.
Part building spin off, yeah. Puppy, I thought you'd be happy with that. Gotta have a little
Here in the
companion.
hideaway, Clive will find a shop where he can purchase new weapons, armor, and consumables such as potions.
Looks very simple. I like it.
A highly skilled blacksmith works the Hideaway's forge. Bring in materials to craft new gear or upgrade existing items.
Loot. Yes.
After upgrading your equipment or unlocking new abilities, try accessing the Arete Stone. Here, players can enter a virtual training area outside the bounds of time and space, where they are free to refine and practice combos of their very own.
I'm going to put a random zoo background with Clive in the middle.
Confident in your skills,
welcome to Clive Zoo.
Arcade mode and see how your scores stack up against players from around the world.
That's pretty cool.
The Hideaway is home to a lot of other features as well.
Side quests. You're welcome. You'll get the royalties from that, JMC. We make any money, you can have some. Clive Zoo.
Not only will players discover a variety of side quests here, but they can also view information on quests offered all around Valisthea.
I'm going to spend hours and hours and hours on this game. It's going to be good. It's probably my most anticipated game of the year so far. Aside from Spider-Man 2, but I don't know if that's going to be out this year or not.
Alright, Clive. Still busy saving the world?
Alright, Clive.
Mid. When did you get back?
Mid? Is she really called mid? As in average? Hey, Moogles. Little Moggies are back. I just got Barbas in Skyrim. Yeah, he is. Got some good companions in Skyrim. Already love the music.
The hunt board to gain information on elite marks, fearsome foes lurking about the
Nice.
realm in desperate need of slaying.
They had that in 15. And I think it was 11 or 12 had that as well. We had like a hunt board. You can fight tricky monsters. You can get money from them and things like that.
There's also Loresman Harpocrates, who will unlock
Put the summons behind bars. They're part of his zoo. Oh my god, yeah.
Tales of his adventures.
Look at this, so pixelated.
I have quite the find for you today.
Yeah, classic music as well.
You wish to study the tomes?
It's good because it incentivizes the codexes.
And Vivian Ninetails, a scholar and strategist who will be more than happy to explain to Clive the current state of the realm and provide information on key players. There are all kinds of interactions and features in the Hideaway to help players get even more enjoyment out of their time with Final
That's
Fantasy
pretty cool.
16.
There's like a lot of lore and backstory to what we're playing, not just the game itself. So you can see the kingdom and the history evolve as you play. That's pretty cool. One I've been looking forward to a lot. Yeah, same.
On his travels, Clive will encounter a wide array of fearsome foes.
Marlborough, hated him. Horrible enemy that is. So these are toughies, aren't they? That looks like a Nazgul. That's good that you get a little quick time in between the fight. Very cinematic. Whoa.
He will, of course, clash with the dominants who wield the power of the Eikons.
So what I've gathered, there's people called Dominants who are special people that wield demon power called Eikons, basically. For those of you that have played the Final Fantasy games before.
Colossal beasts.
Yeah,
Hold
there you go.
the surrounding lands under their sway.
Acacia Dragon. So like your Guardian Forces from 8, your Eidolons, your Summons.
Shrouded in mystery.
It's the same concept, but people can summon them, the specific people that can summon them, from what I can gather. I imagine you have to beat them to get their specific summon, their icon. Boss fights look amazing, don't they? Look at the lighting effects. Unbelievable.
And we cannot forget the Eikons themselves. Experience unparalleled real-time action combat as Clive takes command of the iconic might coursing through his veins and shatters his very limits.
Wow.
The shining point of Final Fantasy XVI, however, has to be the breathtaking Eikon versus Eikon battles.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Look at that. Phoenix against Icon of Fire. Ifrit, basically.
These epic confrontations all play out in real time, allowing players to control their very own icon with their own hands.
I love it. You could do that in 10, and I really, really like that mechanic. So I'm glad they brought that back.
These battles differ depending on the icon encountered, and every showdown is unique, right down to gameplay. Players will experience everything from a 3D scrolling shooter to a heavyweight wrestling match with devastating attacks that encompass the entire battlefield.
So clever. Ifrit versus Bahamut.
These massive scale boss battles are entirely seamless, and I can promise you heart-stopping, controller-gripping excitement. I can't wait for you to get your hands on the game for yourself.
I can't either. I can't either. Give it to me. Give it to us, precious. We want it. It looks absolutely phenomenal.
But if you can do it, then so could I!
It looks insane. Wow. So each fight is going to be unique. It's going to feel like its own masterpiece each time. Yeah, there he's doing Mega Flare. You don't want to be in the firing line of that. Typhon. There's going to be quite a few icons to get our hands on. Look at that. Reminds me of God of War, like the early God of War games. When you're fighting the Titans. Holy shit. Please say that's Odin. It looks like it is. That looks like Odin. Odin's in there. Wow.
So everyone, what did you think? Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Final Fantasy 16.
I shit my pants with anticipation. People are saying boring. What are you on about? Is it just cut off? I think they just cut him off. I think they cut him off.
So everyone, what did you think? Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Final Fantasy 16 will be available worldwide June 22nd. And there's still plenty that we've left to reveal. Battle content, side content, endgame content, and more.
Endgame?
Hope to bring you more on these aspects of the game in the near future. Also, I'm truly excited to finally be able to reveal that Final Fantasy XVI's main theme was written and performed by one of Japan's greatest recording artists, Kenshi Yonezu. We've still got a lot more in store for you in the coming weeks, and I hope you'll all pre-order the game and join us in Valisthea on release day. This has been Naoki Yoshida, producer of Final Fantasy XVI. See you again soon.
Kenshi's a badass. She's got one of the best composers as well. There we go. 22nd of June. Put that in your calendars. That was awesome. Just hang around 1 second just to see if there's anything else. I don't think there is. That was awesome. Well, what do we think, guys? The air battle was nice, yeah. I'm really, really looking forward to the Eikon battles. It looks absolutely amazing. And it didn't disappoint. Didn't disappoint in the slightest. I've just realised it's me that's got the captions on, but I find it funny. Clive Zoo has been created from those captions, so that is going to be the first part of that playthrough when it comes out. Clive Zoo, open for business. It looks amazing. It looks absolutely phenomenal. And as I was saying at the start of the stream, the Final Fantasy franchise is very near and dear to me. I hold a lot of fun and loving memories with my family playing Final Fantasy when those games came out. My top 4 has to be, number 1 is Final Fantasy VIII, controversial I know, Final Fantasy X, then 15, then 9. But they're all fantastic stories. If you're into JRPG games, or you're just looking for a game that just takes you into an absolute other realm, not all of them are voice acted. From 9 onwards, so up to 9 is all sort of text, and there's no voices, there's sounds and stuff like that, amazing music. But from 10 onwards, they're all voice acted. Some of them are a little bit tongue-in-cheek. Some of the voice acting is a little bit cheesy, as you would expect with this sort of genre of game. But they are absolutely phenomenal games. They're really, really good. And I think this one is going to be a very big hitter. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I'm definitely going to be doing a full game playthrough on the channel. I'll be doing a live playthrough, so make sure you stay tuned. Subscribe if you're brand new and you haven't seen this channel before and you want to check out that playthrough, because it will be happening for sure. The mechanics look good. It's a very interesting take that they're going with the active battle system, and they're just going with a system that's sort of free-flowing and doesn't stop, because the old Final Fantasy games, you had like what they call an active battle system, where you essentially time stops, or it freezes, or it slows down, to allow you to pick a command like a magic spell or an item to use, and it just gave you time to think. It was very tactical, whereas this one is the first game, apart from Final Fantasy Online, obviously, because that's all real time with other players, where you actually have to act in real time, and you don't get any time really to think about your next move. But as the guy said that was narrating it, you have got an option to sort of attach accessories which allow time to be slowed down, allow you to evade everything automatically. So if you are really struggling with that sort of system, you can kind of, not cheat, but you can give yourself a little bit of a step back in time if you're really familiar with the old style of Final Fantasy games and you want that ATB system to come back. You can just equip the right accessory and it will pause sort of after the enemies attacked you and give you a chance to decide what you're going to do and then move into the free-flowing combat. I personally am going to just go in. I'm going to go in exactly as the game's been intended. I'm going to go in with the full flow combat system, go for the action. I'm not going for the story mode. I'm going straight in for the action mode, just to see how it feels and just to see how it shapes up. Because Final Fantasy VII Remake did that. It pretty much went full in action mode. And again, it was only when you're selecting certain things from certain points in your menu that time slowed down a little bit. But it went pretty full on. But I really loved it. And everything looks mental on the screen. There's loads of flashing going on. There's loads of sort of sparks flying everywhere. There's people getting chopped to pieces. But I can imagine the mechanics being fairly simple, because from what I saw on the display, it was all done on the shoulder buttons and the face buttons, and it was all just hold R1, press triangle, and you cast a spell, that sort of thing. But it was obviously the way it looked and all the damage markers coming up on the screen that made it look hectic. But I can imagine as well, if that puts you off, you can turn that off in the options. If that puts you off and you just want to go in for the combat itself and just get on with it, then you can, I'd imagine. But it looks really, really good. The cutscenes look amazing. I don't know how I feel about just controlling Clive, though. Hopefully the story's fleshed out enough and the character gets enough depth. And we really have to care about this guy. If we're going to spend the whole game with him, it has to be done right. Hopefully they will do it justice and it has been planned out properly, because this is the first time they've done it in a very, very long time. I don't recall them doing it in any of the Final Fantasy games where you just focus on one sole character. You control that character through the whole game. Even in the battle system, you don't control anybody else. It's just Clive. It's a very bold move. It's quite a daring move, but hopefully they've done it right and it's been planned right and it will feel okay. But that's my one slight worry I have about it, is that we only get to control one character. But everything else looks pretty cool. Loads of quests in there. The map looks good. I would imagine that's only a very small snippet of the map. They did the same with Elden Ring. When they showed us that trailer, it was a very small snippet of the map. When we picked up the main game and they fleshed out a little bit more of the trailer and the cutscenes closer to the release date, the map just expanded and it blew out. And I imagine that's what we're going to get with this as well. So what we're seeing isn't the full world map, but it's intriguing. It's enough to pull us in. But my absolute selling point, and the one thing I cannot wait to get my hands on and experience, is the Eikon fights. I saw Odin in there. He was on his horse. He was carving through people. I was praying that Odin was going to be in there. Hopefully some of the favourites are going to be in there, like Diablos. We saw Ifrit. We saw Bahamut. We saw Ramu was in there. There's a couple of new ones like Typhon's in there. They're obviously going to have like a Gaia-type Earth icon. They might have a wind-type one in there. But it's going to be every single one for the elements. I'd imagine Leviathan's in there. Leviathan is a favourite that's been in most of the Final Fantasy games. So we're probably going to get Leviathan. I would freak out if we get like an anima-type creature from 10, where it's just like chained up and deformed as like a demon. I'd love it. I'd freak out. There's so much to be excited about, and I really liked what I saw. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more information closer to the time it says that we will, so looking forward to seeing what that is. But for me, very happy. Very, very happy. I can calm down now. I can deflate. But this, for me, is my most anticipated game of this year. Looking forward to Wolverine as well. I was looking forward to Gollum, being a massive Lord of the Rings fan, as you guys know. But I was put off by the watered out graphics. It looked very washed out. It looked very bland. It looked very Fellowship of the Ring game, if you guys remember that one. Very sort of cut and paste, very, very naff. But they seem to have reshaped it a little bit. But I've noticed that Gollum's like a £40 game, so it's either going to be very, very short, or they're expecting it to flop. I will give it a go, only because I'm a huge fan of it, and it might actually be funny to play. I'm not expecting huge things from it. It might just be one fun game to play, so I will play Gollum as well when that comes out. I think it's going to be in the next few weeks. I think it's May that one comes out, but I will for sure be playing this one without a shadow of a doubt, and I cannot wait. As I said, it's my most anticipated game. Behind, I've got Wolverine as well in my sights. I've got Spider-Man 2, and that's about it. But I'm hearing rumbles in the Middle-earth universe that there's going to be lots of Middle-earth type content and games coming out this year as well. So I'm keeping my beady eyes on that section of the community as well, and hoping that we're going to get... I'm hearing that there's going to be the Battle for Middle-earth PC games. They're being reforged, they're being called, or revamped or something like that. I think it's reforged, so we might get a brand new, up-to-date, re-rendered graphically, fit-for-purpose today PC game. I'm praying we get a remaster or a remake of a Lord of the Rings game. I'll take anything. The Third Age, The Two Towers, Return of the King. I'll take anything. Conquest was another great one. And if we don't get it, I don't care, because I'm going to go back on my classics. When we go into the classics catalogue, I'm going to plug in my PS2. We're going to be streaming that as well, because I've got my PS1 and my PS2. And we could be putting some of those games out on the channel, which I'm planning to do anyway. So it's not the end of the world, but I will be keeping an eye on that as well. Calm down, Jay. I can't, JMC. When this comes down to Final Fantasy, I get hyped. It will take full advantage of the next generation. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to push the PS5 to its max, and I cannot wait. Very, very pleased. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you thought of the state of play. It looks like there's a lot of disappointed people because they were hoping for something else. Hoping for Redfall, Spider-Man 2. Rest in peace, Xbox. There's a fan war, console war going on still. Mental. But yeah, for me, very, very pleased. Let me know in the comments what you thought, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the very first ever live reaction video. If we get some big stuff like Final Fantasy coming out, I might do another reaction video live. It's been quite fun, and I'm glad you guys have joined me as well to have a little peek. I do prefer the real-time battle system anyway. Yeah, same. I'm not against it at all. I think the active battle system is a bit dated now, and they picked that up with Final Fantasy VII Remake, didn't they? They just sort of realised it was a dated system, just took very small elements from the old way, slowed down time, but Final Fantasy VII Remake felt very much fleshed out, very modern, and the battle system's perfect in it, so this is another step forward. And like I said, if you come into these games very much still in the old mindset, and you want the old mindset to still be applicable in this game, you can still kind of apply it. You can apply an accessory that slows down time, allows you to automatically evade, all that kind of stuff. So it kind of goes back in time for you a little bit if you do struggle. So I like that mechanic as well. You also get a doggo companion. There's moggles, moogies in there. There's lots of little moggy mogs. The Eikons is the thing I'm most excited about. The magic looks amazing. The swords look, okay. My only worry is that you control one character, but we'll see how that goes. If we get so invested in Clive and the story's good, and I like what they're doing with the lore, with the codex stuff, they're fleshing it out into the history, and it's a living, breathing world that changes as you move through it in the story, it might feel like we can easily attach to Clive, because he's taken on Eikons. We can go back and forth in his past and his future, so it might be very easy. Hopefully he's a likable voice actor as well, and we just click with him. Otherwise we're in trouble, because we're going to be buckled in with him for the whole damn game. But I'm very positive about it. I just want this to do really well. I'm sure it will. It's a Sony sort of Square Enix game. They normally don't miss. They normally hit pretty well on the mark. This one's been in the making for absolutely years. It was whispered about when the PS5 first came out, and I was like, what? And then I bought the PS5 and realised it's not going to be out for another few years, which obviously that's the case. It's come out a few years after. So this is going to be a big hitter for the year, if not the biggest hitter of the year, arguably so far. And I can't wait. So yes, it's going to be on the channel. Yes, I'm going to play it. Yes, I'm going to stream it till my eyes bleed. Yes, I'm going to do a full game playthrough. And yes, you guys hopefully will join me and love it just as much. But there we go. I will leave you now, because we're 20 to 11 in the evening where I am, and it's time to settle down, let the adrenaline set, and think about all the possibilities that are going to come with this game. But I'm very, very pleased. I'm very excited, and I can't wait to see more. But thank you so much for joining me, guys, live especially. And if you're checking this out at a later time, feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content. If you guys loved the live reaction and this is more of your thing, let me know, and I'll keep my eyes for some more big news videos like this coming out, and opportunities to go live and do live reactions with you lovely people as well. There's nothing wrong with doing a watch party if we can get away with it. I've just thought of that. Maybe we would do a little movie or something and watch that collectively together. interesting. Let me know in the comments. But until next time, until the next stream, I'm probably now not going to be online until maybe Monday, because it's the weekend. I've got big family plans from tomorrow right up until Monday evening-ish. So it might be I might be able to get a stream in on Monday. If not, you will see me Tuesday for sure. Tuesday at the latest. But you've all been amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for checking me out. Take care. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you soon. Peace out. Cheers.